The following program contains coarse language and mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Winnipeg Comedy Festival proudly presents The Future Show. And now, the host of Tomorrow, Today, Tom Cavanaugh.
Thank you, and welcome. Before we begin, as your host, I want to send out a personal thank you to Howie Mandel, Martin Short, Andrea Martin, Mike Myers, all the people who turned down this gig so that ultimately I could have the gig. We have a theme for tonight's show. The theme for tonight's show is the future. I'm going to say it like that, the future. If I say it in French, it doesn't quite have the same impact. Le futur. Le futur, bon. Le futur. What do we know about the future? Well, Joe Strummer from The Clash once said that the future is unwritten, which actually not true because I have the whole entire next hour right here in front of me on the teleprompter. It's the thing about the future, though, right? You never know. Imagine like 30 years ago, right, if you encountered someone from the future, like a time traveler. Well, actually, if they were from the future, they would have to be a time traveler, right? So imagine you run into this 30 years ago. You run into this person from 2014, and they're like, Kid, you're not going to believe it. The future is amazing. At any time, we can communicate with anyone, anywhere, instantly. You know, we can access the entire breadth of human knowledge and achievement just like that. You'd be like, oh, that's because like the human brain gets so evolved. We get the giant bum heads like those. Remember those aliens in Star Trek? You know, we partake in a shared consciousness on an astral plane, like a harmonious connection between all living things. And the guy'd be like, no, it's because we have these tiny cordless phones. And we never stop looking at them, even though they give us tumors. We don't care. We ignore everyone else. And hey, look, here's a photo of what I had for lunch: pudding. Can I tell you the best part of your immediate future? That is my, if you'd like to see it, I have a Christopher Lloyd impersonation, Doc Brown from Back to the Future. So here we go, without further ado. All right, you ready? If my calculations are correct, by the time this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're gonna see some serious shit. Please, it's not worth any amount of applause. I once had the pleasure of working with Christopher Lloyd one time, true story, and the guys made me do that impersonation for him. I was terrified, but I did it, and true story, this is what he said to me. That's great. What's that from? The following comedian is going to give us his take on the future. Spoiler alert, it's going to be funny. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Peter White.
The Winnipeg Comedy Festival continues.
The following program contains coarse language and mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Our next comic would like to remind you that one day in the future, you'll be as old as he is. So lay off. A warm welcome, please, for John Wing.
He's right. Good night.
Our next comic is the only lady on our future show, or as the other performers tonight call her, mankind's only hope to repopulate the green room. Please welcome Ebony Rosen.
for tomorrow. It's Tom Cavanaugh when we return.
The following program contains coarse language and mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
I think if we've learned anything so far, and we haven't, but if we have, it would be that the future is mysterious, right? Could be good, could be bad, right? Might turn out the way you hope, might not. So if one day you wake up in the future and you're not sure which it is, good or bad, let me help. Here now, some signs that the future may not have turned out the way you'd hoped. If your oceanfront property is in Brandon, future may not have turned out the way you hoped. If your passport is from the sovereign nation of Fort McMurray, future may not have turned out the way you hoped. If your grandkids ask you to take them to the Tree Museum, future might not have turned out the way you hoped. If your clone gets laid more than you do, future might not have turned out the way you hoped. If you find your 1988 signed Wayne Gretzky hockey card cannot be used as payment to enter the doomsday bunker, your future may not have turned out the way you hoped. If you just paid $95 to see Die Hard 27 and the plot seemed a little thin, Bruce Willis still looking good. However, a sign that your future might be working out for you is when your long-lost hometown hockey team comes back to you. It is so obvious that this next comic knows everything about the future because he has such soft, translucent skin. Please welcome the wonderful and advanced Ron Sparks. Ron. Now, the following comedian could not be here tonight, but luckily, we were able to make a copy of him on our 3D printer. So please welcome the very realistic-looking Graham Clark. All right, that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for our future show. Thank you for coming. If I can leave you with just one bit of advice in parting, it is this. Do not spend all your time worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, because otherwise then you won't have time to regret yesterday. That's it, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. Good night.